Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today I'm going to be talking about selling a micro center. So if you've got a great consumer product that you think should be in their stores, this little training will give you some things to think about in regards to micro center. With that said, let's get started on today's training.
Talk about Micro Center. Micro Center is an American retailer that is headquartered in Ohio, and they only have 26 stores in 16 states, but they have tremendous buying power because they have really massive stores, which means they purchase a lot for their individual stores. So Micro Center is a retailer that comes up for people who have consumer electronics products, who are trying to sell anything related to, say, computers, obviously, or maybe gaming or TV stuff, anything you can think about in regards to consumer products. So obviously, it's one of those retailers that hyper focus on that opportunity. So what can I tell you about Micro Center and selling to them? First things first, since they have a large store, that means they can buy quantities on a massive scale and they can test. Some retailers have small store formats, which means that they can't buy that much and they can't test that much. So the good news for you, even if you're just getting started or you have something new, interesting, innovative, they might not ignore you simply because they have the capacity to really take care of you in regards to being able to buy and test stuff out. Again, GNC is a retailer I mentioned sometimes. They are very small in regards to the size of their stores. They can't test like a big Micro Center can, so that's great for you with a consumer product brand. The next thing about Micro Center is that because they are a company that hyper focuses on consumer electronics, all of your competitors are trying to sell to them. What that means is when a retailer hyper niches, they basically focus on a certain product category, and that's pretty unique. Usually there's the Targets of the world who sell consumer electronics, Sears of the world, and so forth. But then there's these retailers that hyper focus on just one type of product category. Those are the ones where all your competitors are going to jump at. It's just something that happens. So if you have a certain clothing, you're going to go to certain clothing retailers and so forth. So what that means for you is that if you reach out to them and you do everything perfectly, they still might reject you and you can't take it personally. That's because they've seen every single type of product in your particular category. They're so hyper focused that it can backfire on the guy who's just trying to get their products into a niche retailer. And I'm here to tell you it's got nothing to do with you most of the time. It just has to do with people coming after that retailer who have similar products to yours, and a lot of them, and they've seen it all. And so you're going to just have to come to terms that if they say no to you, don't ignore that retailer. Just go find other retailers that are possibly a company that would buy from you, show some proof of sales, come back to Micro Center and keep pushing them until you get into that store. Keep the emotions out of it and just acknowledge that because a lot of consumer electronics brands are reaching out to them, you are going to have more trouble. So again, that means going after other types of retailers that a lot of your competitors aren't necessarily thinking about, right? There's retailers that sell consumer electronics products everywhere. Just go to those places and then come back to a Micro Center to support you if that retailer rejects you. So I hope that makes you feel better. The final thing I'll tell you about Micro Center is that they basically do something called private labels sometimes for certain product categories. And the reason that matters is that if you have a product and you don't mind your name not being on the packaging, that would be another avenue for a competitive product category. So what that means is you can sell your product directly to a retailer with your branded name on the box, or you can sell your product to that retailer without your name on the box, if that makes sense. You would basically work a deal with them where they would buy from you, put it in their packaging, they'll tell you where to go get the packaging from, and you would essentially not exist on the store shelves, but you make a lot of money. It's a very common practice, especially with certain really competitive markets. Jewelry, a lot of times they'll do private label instead of putting your brand all over the product itself, maybe fashion, high-end accessories, that'd be different, but the lower end stuff for sure. So for those of you who are selling, say, on Amazon, and you have maybe a cord you sell online that's extra long, or whatever it is that you're selling, that's something that maybe you just bought and resold everywhere and you're doing pretty well, you could go to them and just find the appropriate buyer for that particular situation, which is somebody who is either company owned or private label, and try to go that angle. There's so many things I can tell you about selling your consumer electronics product to retail chains like Micro Center. If you want to learn how to approach, pitch, and sell to retailers, where the money is, how to get retailers to buy, and so forth, please go to our website, retailmba.com. We have been doing this for over 20-something years, getting products into retail chains, and teach people our time-tested, proven formulas as well. So with that said, thank you for your time. Please be on the lookout for additional videos that we create. Please subscribe, keep in touch. We're always creating new content. Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. I hope this helped. Thanks so much.